Hello, Bangwa. Ogale. Let's go grocery shopping. So I'm taking you all to grocery shop with me today so I can show you some of the food at the grocery store and how to say the names of those food in Nweh or Bangwa. So I will be taking you grocery shopping and just telling you like what I do and what I shop for and all the things that we can find at an international market. Okay, all right, come with me and I hope you enjoy yourself. All right, welcome again. So, if you pretend you're in Cameroon, in a lot of Cameroonian grocery store, they'll be outdoors. So, we have a lot of outdoor markets where people get to pick their own food and so forth. To say market, you would say Asa. So the word for market is Asa. So as you see, I'm picking up some corn. To say corn, you will say Ngasang. So that was corn. And then so you walk with me, and then you see the different aisles that have different things. To just say things, you say Ebung. So food, like plural will be Ebung. And then one thing will be asm, or that'll be like more like thing. So really, that's just one word for food, right? And so here you have something called a bot, and then here we have something called green or a soy. That's the Bangwa word, but most people just call it green. And you can see that it's just pretty much green. And you can see a purple green too. We typically don't eat the purple one. I mean, people eat it, but we don't. But we usually Cameroonians will eat the green one. Here you have Torah leaves. We call that bufuku. Bufuku, so the leaf of cocoyam. And all right, so now we go over what you're looking at now is okra. And to say okra and where you will say alatet. And then here is something called Adam's fruit. When we were growing up, we call this Adam's fruit, and I think it gets its name from, I guess, the fruit that Eve gave to Adam. We don't know. There was really no bound name for it. We just called it Adam fruit. So that there you go, Adam fruit. And now you have the cacao pot, and akaka is how you call that. And then here you have some foreign fruit, and that's the dragon fruit, and pretty much you would just call it the same. And this is the passion fruit. We don't have a Bangwa name for it. I grew up just calling it passion fruit, and they might be a name for it, but I'm not sure particularly. You can see how super expensive it is. Can you imagine? I never bought this growing up. And now you see more fruits again, that's pear, and more foreign fruits as you see. And this is like cilantro and just seasoning. To say seasoning, you would just say bakong or something like that. I think that's a French word. And it's pretty much more seasoning. That's onions, and you would just say onions pretty much. Yeah. And then you go over, you have all the vegetables and so on. And then this is the banana leaves, afukandong or afulumbu is how you call it. So banana will be limbu, and then akandong will be um plantains. And now this is huckleberry, and this is the leaf. I know in the US most people don't eat it, but in Cameroon it's supposed to be super nutritious. And this is called njap. Njap is huckleberry. And then they have like that's the leaf. And then so carrot is basically carrot, if you will say. And then pepper is tusoya and tia. Tusoya tia hot pepper. So like the sweet pepper will be tusoya nandita, like sweet pepper, the pepper that is a little sweet. And then you just have green pepper. And tusoyake banga will be like green pepper, like pepper that is not ripe. And then like the red pepper will be like ripened pepper. And we don't really have a variety. I don't know the name for the different variation of the peppers. And so just call it red pepper and green pepper. Now you have the eggplant, right? In Cameroon, we have the small one that you're looking at now, and it's kind of just completely white, and we call it garden egg. And here is mbazang. Mbazang is peanut, and we eat a lot of fresh peanut, as you can see. And then here is green beans. So um, Green beans will be basically in ngapsaya banga, and now we have purple cauliflower. I don't know how to you will say that in Bangwa because I don't think we really have cauliflower in the Bangwa land. And so we will not have a word for that. And then what you're looking at is like different type of squash. And so you would just say labot. So it have like just different type of squash. Tomato will be tomato, pretty much. It's the green tomato will be tomato yake banga, and then avocado will be pia, basically pia is avocado. And then here you also have different type of squash. Funny thing about like this type of squash is that we used to call it le balm kunya, because nobody really ate that. They fed it to pigs. And here is cabbage. We just say cabbage. Cabbage is cabbage. And now again, broccoli, I mean, cauliflower, you just say cauliflower because we don't have it. And then ginger will be ginger. Make sure you put the accent ginger. And then apopo is papaya. Apopo is papaya. All right. So and then lembut lebang, ripe banana. Lembut rake banga, green banana. Or lembut, just green banana, right? And then I think this is purple hibiscus, just call it filaria. And it's like a drink. And then onions again, right? Um Oranges are called lamsi. So lamsi is oranges, and then apple will be just apple, and then Cameroon, that Cameroonian apple is kind of really different from this, and it's like one seed, and it's got more water, and it's completely white, but like purple on the outside, purple reddish on the outside. And this pineapple will be the lang, and then mango will be is singy, is mango, and then I think I skip lime. Lime will be the key is lime, and this is taro root, and this is just a kumwe. So this is like a softer version of taro root, and this one is the more tougher version. You just say a wo ku'u will be like the small part of the taro root, and then the bigger part will be called a ten ku'u. The ten ku'u. So give me 1 minute. Let me show you what that will look like. And like, all right, so the white one, the big one is a tenku. And then you have sugar cane here. Nku is sugar cane. Nku. And then yam is along. Along is yam. Along, yam. And then cassava will be just a cassava. A cassava will be cassava. Garlic will be just garlic. Garlic, garlic. And then coconut will be coconut. All right, and then more garlic, garlic. And then at the bottom there, you'll see corn and gasang again, corn. I think I've already touched on that. Um, and then onions will be onions, more onions and more onions. And then this will be antita, basically. And then sweet potato is antongo, antongo is sweet potato, pretty much. Then a whole bunch of sweet potatoes, right? Yeah. And so I hope you're enjoying yourself. And sweet potato, it's also a little bit more tougher in Cameroon. Somehow the food are a little bit more like savory and tougher. And so here is the fish market. Isso is fish. So isso is fish. Njanga is shrimp. Njanga, shrimp, pretty much. Yeah, that's that. And then so now let's go to the dry rice will be bokwalik. Rice will be bokwalik. Pretty much we love rice, right? Then beans will be ngapsa. So it's just general for like all the different type of beans. Fin ngapsa will be black beans. Ngapsa and chet will be like beans that have like dots or coloration on it. Then black eyed peas will be bokwa bagoto. So basically this is the beans that you use for kaki corn, right? And so we say bokwa bagoto. Then red beans will be bangapsa, basically bangapsa. And then white beans will be fungapsa, basically just fungapsa, right? And then you have all the different type of beans, and then you have corn over there. Again, you would just say um, corn, and then you have yeah, and then you have corn maize, like corn that is grinded up over there to a bengapsa. So we have a thing in Bangwa called basang, and this fufu powder, corn powder, is what you use to make basang. And it's so now you look at snail, bungo, bungo is snail. So anything like clam is snail. So here are the snacks. Akandongan kang, basically fried plantains. So what you're looking at in the little bags here are like fried plantains. The darker one are the more ripe fried plantains, and the more yellowish one are the green one. And so to say ripe, you will say akanong bang, akanong bang. Another really popular snack in Cameroon is fried peanut and corn, particularly. And to just say that, you will say ngasang bazang, basically corn and peanut. You don't have to add "and" to it, you just do it. And then another moringa powder, I'm not sure what we use that for. And then here inju is egusi. Inju is egusi, so you use that for a lot of different recipes, a lot of soups and, like, puddings and so on. Yeah, we love it. And another snack that we eat a lot is called ching ching, and we just call it ching ching. Ching ching. Like, think about it like you're like dangling and jiggling your keys. Ching ching, ching ching ching. And then more seasoning. And we also eat a lot of biscuit. Well, we call these biscuit, and I guess Americans will call them cookies, but we usually just call them biscuit, right? So biscuit is basically how you would say that. And then Similac is like kind of like baby food. And in Cameroon, the popular drink of choice is kind of like hot chocolate in a way. It's Milo or of a teen. And we use that to make our own chocolate drink. You add milk to it and you add a little bit of sugar, and then you like dip your bread in it, and it's so good. So you should try it one day. And then you have puff puff there. We just call it bakara. Puff puff is bakara. And then you just we have fufu again. Abe is fufu, so that's all the fufu. And then bevet is oil. Bang bevet is palm oil. So palm oil will be bang bevet. Um, to say like the palm tree that the oil come from, you would just say atunza. Atunza is the palm tree that the palm oil comes from. And as you can see in Cameroon, we use a lot of palm oil, and that's usually the oil of choice for many people, and it's red. However, if you fry it for a long time, the colors start to change and they become kind of like golden, um, clear. But if you don't kind of cook it or fry it up, it stays red and so forth. And that's why we love it, because it brings out the intense color in food and also adds a lot of flavor in it. And so yeah, then here's the oil. Bevignette is like lotion, is bevignette. Don't ask me why in the African Isle for oil we have a lot of bleaching cream, but we do, unfortunately. But I'm just showing you a couple of things that I was able to see. And then here you have soap. And to say soap, that we'll say asoanyet. Asoanyet will be like kind of soap that you use um to like wash your skin, right? Um, and then oil for your body, again, that's another oil. Bevetnyet, bevetnyet. That's kind of like shea butter, and I don't think we have any particular name for shea butter. And then here you see a lot of meat. Atumbwa is up there, so the head of the goat. And then seasoning, you just say to say seasoning, you will just say bequinyet, basically the things you use to season your soup up. Or bequin will be like seasoning, basically. Bequin is seasoning. And so you have a lot of different seasoning, hot pepper, and whatnot. And then there's the popular Maggie cube that we all use. We just call it Maggie. Maggie. It's yeah, it's like a really popular seasoning cube, and it's basically like sugar and salt and like flavor enhancers, which is not really meant to be good for you, but we use it. And here again, you have palm wine. To say palm wine, you will say furbaloo. Furbaloo. Furbaloo basically just translates to white drink, like a white drink. And that's usually really good. And here's more soft drink. And then a popular drink in Cameroon again is Goya. And so we drink a lot of Mata Goya. And so yeah, and more soft drinks here. And you would just say bulu meat tea balloon tea is like alcoholic drink. And then bulu me tea will be like just non-alcoholic drink. And here's the fufu. Gari will be ngari, and that's salmonina. I'm not sure we have or really use that in the Bangwa land, but we do have gari and we just call it ngari. Bokwo again is rice. So and then that's peanut grinded up. Um Again to say peanut, you will say mbazango will be grind up peanut. Abe, like the fufu powder, will just be abe, right? You can say abe along for yam fufu, abe kondong for like banana fufu, abe oatmeal for like oatmeal fufu, or abe, I don't know, abe gari for like gari fufu, right? Just say the different names that the fufu is made out of just to make give it the distinction. And as you can see, we eat a lot of fufu, and for convenience sake, we have a lot of powder fufu, which doesn't really taste as well as if you were to make your own fufu from scratch, but that's a lot of work. So most people usually will just buy the powder fufu for convenience, and you can quickly make it in the microwave, and it will still taste just as good. And again, you just have a lot of different legumes, and again, as you just ngapsa, basically for short for beans, and it's kind of inclusive of all the different types of um, beans. So here am I checking out, and here's what I bought. Overall, I spent about $150 at the international market. I didn't really buy much, and African food can tend to be really expensive just because it's being imported. And so, yeah, um, so here's what I bought again. Not a lot per se. So here's go Baki. So right here is Baki lemon is Baki, and then rambutans. And this is kind of like more like a Central American fruit, and we don't have a name for it. So we're just gonna call it rambutan and call it a day. And I bought some frozen cassava, and I used that to make my own fufu from scratch. Again, cassava is a cassava, and I bought pepper, tuso, and I bought ginger, ginger. You gotta say it with some spice to it, ginger. And then I bought some uh onions, green onions, you would just say onions. And then I bought a drink, balut, right? I bought a couple of drinks, balut. And that's just a sour sop drink that I wanted to taste because I like to try new food every time I go to the international market. It's always fun to try something. Then I bought a guava drink. To say guava in a way, you will say nda. Nda is guava. So the pink guava. In Cameroon, we have like different flavor of guava too. We have like really like sour one and unsour one. And I bought chickpeas, and chickpeas, I don't have a word for it, so you can just call it some beans, right? And then I bought fish, and then I bought cilantro, which is a seasoning, right? And then you would just say bequin will be like seasoning. And then I bought some ice cream. This is really similar to Cameroon ice cream. Ice cream in Cameroon is yaourt. Yaourt is ice cream. And then I bought my favorite thing, which is the Adam's fruit. Adam's fruit again is just Adam's fruit. We're gonna have to make up a name for it. I don't know what Bangwa name we should give it. Let me know what you think we can name this fruit to make it like Bangwa. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So there you go. That's all that I bought. Thank you again for coming along with me as I go shopping. Let me know if you want me to go along and go like shop for clothes and we can identify the different parts or different clothes at the store. Thank you. Bye.